that Superman's dead?
I didn't even know he was sick.
He wasn't. Somebody just finally punched him hard enough to kill him.
I bet that caught him by surprise. I'll bet when he just realized he was dead, he thought, well, I'll be darned. Hey, Dad, did you know that Superman is dead?
I thought Superman was immortal.
He was. Then he died.
Heartman, it's 6:45. You sure do require a lot of sleep. Hey, listen, could you look at this press release I've written on the National Health Legislation Bill? I think I've managed to position the senator within the parameters of the party line while still establishing our own independent posture.
Hey, do you mind? I'm still reeling from the Superman bombshell.
Hey, look, this is important. Would you please try to focus?
Look, I can't focus until my eyes do, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen for another 15 minutes. Anyway, what got you buzzing at whatever this says it is in the morning?
Well, I happen to have had an epiphany this morning, okay?
What's an epiphany?
I think it's a lady thing.
No, it's a realization that maybe when I took this press secretary job, I didn't have the right attitude towards it.
No, when you asked how could you have fallen so far as to take a job in Senator Smithers' office, I took that as false modesty.
No, really, I thought I'd hit rock bottom. I mean, come on. I won a Peabody for my journalism, and all of a sudden I'm cranking out political flack that people in the poorer regions of the senator's home state appreciate for the softness and non-chafing qualities of its paper. And then I realized, maybe I could make a mark as a press secretary. I mean, look at Ron Ziegler, Margaret Tutwiler, Marlon Fitzwater. Okay, maybe not the journalistic A-list, but for an epiphany, it doesn't matter. I just want to be known as the best press secretary on the Hill.
And she made us breakfast, too.
Yes, I see. Lean cuisine fettuccine primavera.
It's actually very good and only 170 calories.
Well, that's terrific, Elliot, but unless you combine that with the proper exercise, you'll never keep the weight off.
All right, Hartman, come on, give me a break. I think I could learn to cook if I wanted to. I mean, if I can learn Romanian to interview Ceausescu, I think I can learn to toss around a few pots and pans.
Wait a minute, you interviewed Nicolae Ceausescu?
No, the SOBs had to execute him a week before I finished my Berlitz course.
Oh, that's a tough break for you.
Now, I'm going to leave this on, and if you don't want to look over the most stirring press release in the history of press releases, then it's your loss.
Okay, guys. So who finally killed Superman? Was it Wonder Woman?
Hi.
Hi.
Did you look over my press release? What do you think?
Oh, well, I think this may be a little premature. The senior legislative staff hasn't finished making an analysis of the political repercussions.
Just for the record, who is the senior legislative staff?
Well, me.
Oh, well, then I hope you noticed that I took your stick your head in the sand, protect your butt, take no position whatsoever political stance into account when I wrote it.
Yes, and I appreciate that.
Well?
I think it goes a little too far.
Come on, the senator's always talking about trying to do something about the rising cost of health care.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he supports this bill.
Doesn't mean he doesn't support this bill.
Doesn't mean he does.
That's silly.
Well, you know our nutty old senator. Anyway, you can fold that paper into an airplane and it still won't fly.
Why don't we let the senator decide that?
Because he's never been good with paper airplanes.
What are you afraid of?
Afraid? No, Miss Lottie, I may not have won a Peabody Award or know Romanian or have had any good epiphanies lately, but I do know the senator.
Really?
Yeah.
What color are his eyes?
Okay, well, I'm sure you have a lot of important things to do. I know you.
John, listen, I got a copy of that Senate finance report from Darren Monahan. Am I interrupting something here?
No. We were just having a discussion about the senator's eye color,
Well, hell, they're blue, and they got a little green tint and eggshell.
Hey, don't tell me. Something wrong?
All the usual.
Mavis?
Of course. See, the senator got a couple of tickets from Jack Kent Cook for the Redskins games this Sunday. He can't use them, so I kind of positioned myself to take them off his hands, And
So what's the problem?
well, she wants to go see this Frida Kahlo exhibit at the National Gallery.
So tell her you want to go to the game.
I can't do that. She thinks I'm just your typical country bumpkin who doesn't know the least thing about the arts, and all he wants to do is sit around and watch football and drink beer.
So skip the game and go to the museum with her.
I can't do that. It's too dull. Sunday's a family day. It's when you sit around and watch football and drink beer. Take a big old nap,
Jeez, girls.
How do you know Frida Kahlo is going to be dull?
Well, maybe it's because I've seen this exhibit before. Or maybe it's because I spent 4 years minoring in modern art. Or maybe it's because I happen to know that the paintings on display don't represent Frida Kahlo's best works.
Oh. Well, why don't you tell that to Mavis?
Because it's a damn lie.
Hey, Senator, are you all right?
No, I am not. I got a speeding ticket when driving into work this morning. I told the police you cannot give a ticket to a United States Senator when he's on his way to a vote. And they did anyway. And you know why?
Because the Senate's not in session today?
You knew that too. I gotta start watching more C-SPAN. Oh, Mr. Hartman.
Yes, sir.
I had the misfortune of running into Sam Donaldson in the men's room, and he kept pressing me about my position on the health care legislation. Fortunately, I was able to deflect his questions by complimenting him on his new toupee. Sort of a South Korean job, very tight weave. You don't get workmanship like that in domestic tubes anymore. In fact, when anyone asks me why we don't buy more American-made products, I say, Mister, the answer to that is sitting right on top of Sam Donaldson's head.
Yes, sir. Senator, about your position on the bill.
Well, I can't keep ducking Sam Donaldson every time I meet him in the men's room. I'd get a bladder condition.
It's a very complex issue with a lot of political ramifications.
I hate not having a soundbite for Sam.
Senator, I have a soundbite for Sam. With rising health costs, the American family is becoming our most endangered species. When are we going to do something to save it?
You know, Mr. Hartman, that didn't sound too complex, full of snappy catchphrases like the American family and endangered species. And a lot of my constituents are families.
Yes, and a lot of them are small businessmen, and they oppose this bill.
Oh, I can't alienate them, but I do want to be supportive of the families. But I don't want Sam to think I'm straddling the fence.
No, don't worry. Tomorrow night you're speaking in front of the Rotarians, all right? I'll draft a speech that spells out your broad feelings on this issue without creating any political liability.
I like that. Just make sure it's chock full of catchphrases.
Yes, sir.
You know what else I like? Buzzwords.
Senator, just a minute. Excuse me, forgive me, but if we can be first to put a man on the moon, if we can be first in the Olympics, why can't we be first in providing decent health care for working Americans?
Very snappy. On the other hand, I don't want to mislead the public. We went first in the Olympics, Miss Lottie. I don't understand, but those Chinese cannot have more than 6 pools in their entire country. How come they managed to beat the pants off us in swimming? Although they're fairly tiny, maybe they can train in wading pools. Maybe you should take a pass at the healthcare speech.
I am?
Oh, I meant Miss Lottie.
What?
Oh, I still want you to do a draft, and at the end of the day, I'll take a look at both speeches and run with the one that I feel right with. Now, where was I going? Oh, bathroom.
Does this bother you?
No, it doesn't bother me.
Yes, it does bother you. I can tell that it bothers you. Why does it bother you?
Because I am the senator's chief of staff, and I told you I was going to handle this issue.
Okay, and the senator, your boss, expresses dissatisfaction at not having something to say to the press, which is my job.
That does not excuse you from making an end run behind my back.
I did not make an end run behind your
Well,
back.
what do you call this mad dash into the senator's office? My head is still pounding from the click, click, click of your heels.
The click, click, click of my heels? What does that mean?
I don't know what it means. It's just a figure of speech.
Oh, I see. And if Billy were to go in there, you'd say the click, click, click of his heels?
No, I wouldn't say that. Billy doesn't wear heels.
Then is your problem with my making an end run in heels the sheer physical awkwardness of the metaphor, or is your problem, as antiquated as it may seem, the fact that I'm a woman?
Oh, will you give me a break? Why do you women always think of things as women's issues?
You women?
Oh, no, don't start. No, please. Oh, God, don't. Please. Oh, look, don't lay the male chauvinist baggage on me. This has nothing to do with zippers opening in the front or the back.
Okay. What does it have to do with?
You know, it...
There you go. Are you two having an argument?
No.
Good.
Yes.
Sorry.
You know what I think's upsetting you? What I think is upsetting you is that you have to compete with a person with no political background, armed only with fresh ideas and what some have called courage, who happens to be developing a pretty good working relationship with the senator, and I think that scares you.
Scares me? What, your look out world, here we come attitude? I don't think so.
Oh, lost in the 70s. I bet you know all the words to feelings, don't you? Well, you know what's so sad is you don't seem to be in touch with yours.
Hey, hang on. I am not out of touch with my feelings, all right? I cried before it was fashionable. You know what I mean? I don't need Ms. Magazine to give me permission. I always cried a lot, and not those little itty-bitty tears. I'm talking about the big squirty kind that sort of shoot out the side of your eye when you blink. I mean, when it looked like E.T. was dying, the guy next to me had to change seats in order to keep his popcorn from getting soaked. That's the kind of crying I did.
Did?
Right.
Kind of a wuss, aren't you?
Okay, you go write your speech, I'll write my speech, and may the best person win.
You really do have a problem with women, don't you?
Just one.
Any dead yet?
I don't want to discuss it anymore, Billy. Frida Kahlo was an incredible painter. I mean, she was crushed by her marriage to Diego Rivera. He weighed well over 300 pounds. Oh, and honey, she was impaled on a handrail in a bus crash. I mean, her paintings depict the horrible physical agony she struggled with her entire life.
Maybe she wants to see horrible physical agony. The playoff game starts at 1 o'clock.
Oh, what a wonderful way of putting it. I'm going to put that at the beginning of my speech. Thank you so much, Governor Cuomo. Please say hi to Matilda for me. Okay, bye-bye.
Okay. So how's your speech going?
Well, I haven't had a chance to get to it yet.
Really?
Really, you know, as chief of staff, there are other things I have to do.
What does she do? You know, Georgie Ann started her speech.
Great, wonderful.
She just got off the phone with Mario Cuomo. You know, he's helping her with it.
What? Hey, fine, whatever.
Did you know that they call Mario Cuomo the Larry Bird of the Democratic Party? He's the only white man on the team that can give a decent speech. Oh. Well, that's what they say. I don't know.
Was there anything else you wanted, Billy?
No, that's it. I'll see you later.
Yeah, see you later.
Listen, that speech is due this afternoon.
Thank you very much. Oh, God.
What are you doing?
No, I was just walking by. There was a glitch there, and then your screen went blank somehow. I was trying to retrieve your speech. I hope you don't think I was trying to erase it. Oh, good, you got it back. Well, I'm happy because you gave me quite a scare.
John, the senator wants you to reschedule tomorrow's breakfast meeting.
Yeah, okay. Billy Bob?
Yeah.
Listen, we gotta reschedule the senator's breakfast meeting tomorrow. He can't make it.
Should I make it for Thursday?
I don't know yet. Tell him I'll call back around 3 and see.
Excuse me, guys, I don't mean to interrupt, but could you please keep the shouting down?
Oh, I'm sorry. Were we speaking too loudly for you, Miss Lottie?
Well, I'm trying to write a speech, and I don't have my own office. Not that I even asked for one when I took this press secretary job, although I do think I deserve one. So if you could just use a little common courtesy and keep it down.
Courtesy by all means. Would you like us to remove our shoes and walk around on our tippy toes? No, everybody, listen up. Miss Lottie has some very serious work to do, so if we could all work together as mice rather than elephants. And constituents, it's quiet time now, okay? Shh. Is that better?
There's no need for you to try to embarrass me.
I'm not trying to embarrass you, but you've got to learn. If you're going to work in Washington, you've got to develop a little thicker hide.
Excuse me, Georgie Ann?
Yeah, yes.
You wouldn't mind a little advice, I mean, since you hadn't been here that long at all.
Oh, no, of course not.
Well, you see, your more northern liberal senators, they like to keep their offices kind of competitive, you know, but, you know, like the Kennedys, when they used to have those touch football games, the Hyannisport, ones where everybody ended up with a broken leg. But you see, we're from down south, and we like to make things just a little bit less aggressive.
So you're saying I shouldn't be writing this speech?
Well, not necessarily.
Oh, so you're saying I should be writing this speech?
Well, not necessarily.
What are you saying?
I'm just saying that you might want to think about it before you accept an invitation to play touch football with the Kennedys.
Mavis, do you think I'm out of line writing this speech?
Out of line? Georgie, I have a master's degree in poli-sci from Rutgers. I spent the first 2 years in this office asking big questions like regular or decaf before anyone ever bothered to ask me my opinion on anything political. I like John a lot, but I say you write this speech in his blood. If you don't mind risking your relationship. Then again,
I've been in a relationship for 8 years, and I have to risk spending Sunday at football sitting next to a man in a pig's mask yelling, "Go Hogs, kill, kill."
I don't know, maybe Billy Bob's right. Maybe I shouldn't be playing touch football with the Kennedys.
What?
Oh, never mind. Cartman, I gotta talk to you.
Of course.
Something I gotta say.
Go ahead.
Maybe I let my zeal for my work get the better of me, and I've been coming on a little too strong. And that's what I have to say.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah, me too.
Wait a minute. I hate this.
So do I.
I mean, I can't believe we let work get in the way of what's really important. My relationship to you.
Cartman, shut up and kiss me. Oh, I don't know why I overreacted and turned this into an argument about your insecurity.
Wait a minute. No, that doesn't matter. Don't worry.
You're not threatened that I'm a woman.
Not at all. In fact, I wouldn't have you any other way.
You're just a little intimidated going head to head with a person of my background.
Intimidating?
Well, I do have a certain reputation as a world-class journalist.
I wasn't intimidated.
Well, you just acted a little intimidated.
That wasn't intimidation you saw. That was annoyance.
Annoyance?
Mm-hmm. Yes, as a matter of fact, you do have a reputation at times as one of the most obnoxious women in the whole world. So that explains why I was exceedingly annoyed by your world-class obnoxiousness.
Really?
Uh-huh.
You know, maybe I'll just write that speech and you can just be annoyed by all of me.
All right.
Fine. You're dead meat, Hartman.
Think again.
Any word?
No, nothing. Mavis, what's the difference between ambitious and obnoxious?
Difference between ambitious and obnoxious, I would have to say. The Adam's apple. You know, like when a man goes after something, he's ambitious. And when a woman forgets to say, "May I?" she's obnoxious.
So these are secondary sex characteristics like the curtsy and the belch.
Hey, Dee Dee, did the senator happen to say anything about his football tickets for Sunday's game?
Yeah.
Well, for example, what kind of things did he say?
Oh, well, just that his wife said that since he's free on Sunday, she wants him to go to some exhibit with her. Some Frito Bandito thing.
Frida Kahlo.
Okay, if you say so. Anyway, he says those football tickets are his way out, so he's keeping them.
Oh, Senator, listen, could I talk to you about the exhibit that your wife's going to?
Oh, Frito Bandito thing?
Hey, I was right.
Listen, are you aware of how important those works are and what a rare opportunity it is?
Oh, yes, Mrs. Davis was just telling me what a tragic life Frito had. Sounds like you're going to have a terrific time now bringing back a Redskins cap. So, goodbye, all.
Senator, have you forgotten something?
Oh, of course. Redskins cap for Miss Lottie, too.
The speech, Senator.
Ah, yes, well, Miss Lottie's had much to recommend it, but so did Mr. Hartman's. Again, good night.
Well, Senator,
Yes.
which one are you going to use?
Mr. Hartman's.
Oh.
Hartman,
In the kitchen.
I'm home. Okay, you can start gloating. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm not a gloater. Okay, yay me.
Do I really have to hear this?
Look, for what it's worth, you really should know that just because the senator picked my speech, it doesn't mean it was necessarily better.
Of course it does. What else could it mean?
Well, it means that I know the senator's politics a little better. And I happen to know that Senator Smithers likes the word dandy.
Excuse me?
No, he never gives a speech without getting to say the word dandy at least 3 times. He probably picked my speech because it started with, "My, what a dandy bunch of Rotarians we have here today."
Wait a minute, you knew this and you didn't tell me before?
Well, hey, you had a secret weapon of your own there in Mario Cuomo. You know, I needed something. I figured dandy was mine.
Do you mean to tell me that a quote from Mario Cuomo, one of the greatest orators of our day, lost out to a dandy bunch of Rotarians?
How about that, huh? If you don't mind my asking, why was it so important that the senator go with your speech?
Because I don't have a Pulitzer.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but they don't give out Pulitzers for best speech to Rotarians.
Okay, just
No, wait a minute. I've got something that, I don't know, just might cheer you up.
What's that?
I knew you were coming, so I baked you a cake.
How did you know I was coming?
Well, I just heard the click, click, click. No, it was a lucky guess.
So what is this, like victory cake? Thought you weren't a gloater.
I'm not. It's a birthday cake for you.
How'd you know it was my birthday?
Well, your dad called about an hour ago and told me. He's really upset because he's not going to make it back from his cooking seminar in time for your birthday. It seems that he and Julia Child got into some kind of serious brouhaha over porcini mushrooms. And words were exchanged, food was thrown, and he missed his train.
Okay, well, now you know. Another birthday, no Pulitzer.
Well, I wanted to get you one, but by the time I found out, all the Pulitzer stores were closed.
You know, it's really silly, but I feel the same way about the Grammy Awards show.
Huh.
I mean, I know I'm not going to win a Grammy, but I just hate being reminded every year that I didn't win again. They're really great. They're these cute little bronze gramophones on these little wooden bases.
Well, you know, I can't give you a Grammy and I can't give you a Pulitzer, but I can tell you that this year, you are the winner of the Hartman Award. It's a cute little guy in an apron holding a cake. And you know, I know the greatest place for your Hartman is right there next to your nightstand.
You know, I think I've fallen in love with someone who borders on having real charm.
Happy birthday, Georgianne Lottie.
Superman lives.
Next year, the Pulitzer.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me see. I think I can do a little improvement on your nose. No. Okay, all right. I think you need a little facial hair here. No. All right.